alam mo yun, kapag kunwari sobrang depleted ka na, pagod ka na, exhausted, burnt out, how does Sofia cope? So, we go way back, grade school.
Yes.
So, sobrang tagal na nating magkakilala, my
Sobra,
gosh.
yes.
Tapos, do you remember na pinadala tayo ng mga childhood photos? Tapos
Yes.
parang, what? Sobrang magkamukha
Yeah,
tayo.
sobra.
Tapos we realized, pareho tayong taga Bicol.
Yes.
Tapos parang, oh my gosh, magkamag-anak nga kaya talaga tayo.
My mom told me na, oh my God, kamag-anak natin si Liza.
Yeah.
Parang sabi ko, how? Ganyan-ganyan. And then she told me yung connections nga na parang, I think, tita niya yung lola mo.
Yes.
Pamangkin ni mama, dad mo, something
Yes.
like that. Doon natin na-piece together na
Kaya
I'm your
pala
tita.
magkamukha tayo.
Oo, tapos, pero at the same time, it also validated our bond na rin previously kasi we were so close, like parang tumatabi talaga ako sa'yo, no? Tapos you would like super daldalan lang.
Yes. Lagi tayong nasa likod ng class.
Yes.
Tapos lagi tayong, to the girls at the back.
Pero it's nice kasi I think it's a really unique experience na parang I don't think it's every day that you realize like one of your classmates is your kamag-anak pala.
Exactly. You've always been the extra one. Hindi pa uso yung Photoshop. Si Sofia Cope. Marunong na mag-Photoshop. Si Sofia Cope nagko-code na ng multiply. Diba? Remember that? We always parang
Yung
every week.
Friendster ko is
Yes.
like super extra talaga.
Yes, very much.
Complete with music.
And all the glitters nung araw.
Oo,
Tapos
yung
parang
mga
may mga
gifs.
butterflies pa na mouse pointer. Ayun.
Yes.
Tapos, and then we worked together with VLM. One of your very first creative babies.
Yes, yes.
So, can you tell us more about VLM?
So it started actually after college. I've always been like into graphic design na talaga. But then I'm also like one of my big loves then is like fashion or specifically personal style. I like expressing myself through the things that I wear, and I love buying vintage and like shopping sa ukay ng time na yun. I think I was greatly influenced by my sister, my ate. And then you also share that same love for clothing. Tapos at that time, we were both blogging. Like,
Yes.
you had your lookbook, and
Yes.
ako naman, I had my fashion blog. So, like, I played around with the idea na what if we sell, like, vintage. I was already selling it, but, like, I wanted, like, somebody to do that with. And so, it's just like looking back, parang nag-flow lang tayo na parang it wasn't like super professional na parang I just invited you said yes, and then we started shooting sa house.
Exactly.
And then parang that led to another thing. Next thing we know, we were shipping orders na.
Totoo.
Tapos we were launching collections monthly.
Ang saya nun, sobra. Can you remember that one? Sobrang init na summer.
Yes, oo.
And then we were both wearing Lily Pulitzers.
Yes.
Cute. Sobrang memorable lang sa akin.
One of my favorite collections yun. Instagram, social media weren't a thing back then.
I think it
Parang-
was just Multiply.
Yeah,
and
it was Multiply,
Facebook.
Facebook. Tapos that's where we uploaded the collection. And we were just creating and having fun.
Totoo. Yan talaga yung very stark sa memory ko na we were just having fun. Na parang kahit ang init-init, walang aircon. Tapos sasabi natin, ano kayang magandang shoes? Tapos tinabad na tayo mag-isip. Nakapaa tayo. So that entire collection was just, ewan ko, 3/4. Hindi kita yung paa.
Pero like super carry na
Oo.
parang party.
Yes.
From the knees up. But like...
Twiggy eye.
Yes. One of my favorite collection, most favorite is yung music festival. Almost every month, every summer, there were like Wonderland Festival, then
saya.
Malasimbo. Tapos parang, we just like reveled in that and
Yes.
parang enjoyed the fact that, Manila was becoming like the place to be for music festival. So we sort of just joined the party and through our collection. So
Nung hindi pa uso yung mga e-magazines nun.
yes, hindi pa uso yun.
So, you also created Blood Rush Online.
Yes, we created it. Yes, because I think this was kasi Tumblr days.
Yes.
And Tumblr was naging gateway talaga siya for, expression. Diba sa Tumblr you see, it's not just pictures, there's quotes, there are stories, fan fictions, everything. That sort of paved the way for us to parang think of other ways to express ourselves beyond clothing.
And something deeper.
Yes, and something deeper. Yes, na parang in Blood Rush, we explored yung coming of age. Diba? That was our first issue, yung maiden
It was
issue
so
natin.
dreamy.
Sobra. So, we explored coming of age as a woman, mga adventures natin, you know, when you're in your early 20s, in your prime, and what are you doing? Parang ganun. And we just wrote about it. We went to gigs, and parang we explored, you know, our experiences with our partners, and we wrote about that. Some parts of it are cringe, but also, I wouldn't, like, change anything. Kasi
Yeah,
parang
same.
we were meant to experience that. I think every 20, 21-year-old needed to go through that. Na parang you're just like opening up to the world. You're somewhere between being innocent and your innocence being, you know, slowly taken away from you. And it was so special to me, like what we did.
Yung birthday ni Monica. Hi, Monica. We love you.
Yes.
Grabe, ang saya nun. We dressed up.
Yes, oo.
Tapos meron pa tayong mga performance na nagkaraoke lang naman tayo.
I told everybody na everyone needs to sing.
Yes.
What people see now sa atin is parang this creative people na probably, you know, we just started our own thing and parang the rest was magic and ganyan na it. But the reality is we've been doing this ever since, and there's so much work that went through this. Kasi parang I went through phases na my art was very amateur. Yung mga pinopost ko pa dati sa friends, and you've seen that. Like my friends saw that. But like, I was just, yun nga, having fun, and I was just so absorbed in what I did. Because I was so absorbed and so focused, parang like, I grew. It's so frustrating because that's the part that doesn't get seen.
Yeah.
So I like that we're having this conversation now because it communicates to
na
people.
This is
na,
us. This
Yes.
is the real us before we got there. And alam mo yun, kapag kunwari sobrang depleted ka na, pagod ka na, exhausted, burnt out, how does Sofia cope?
Good question. So, going back to what I said earlier, art and creating, actually any form of artwork or like any form of creative endeavor, it has to be fun. Kasi yun nga yung purpose na we have fun. And I'm truly a big believer na when you're having fun, maganda talaga yung napoproduce mo. Iba talaga siya when you're just doing it for, you know, for sales or for like just to produce something.
Yeah.
So when it stops being fun for me, I also stop working. So I recenter myself, I regroup, I do mindful practices. One of them is yoga, meditation. I'm really into Zazen meditation kasi it doesn't have a lot of rules. Even like doing simple things like spending time with, you know, a loved one or animals. I'm sure Bagnet's fur can calm you down talaga.
Yes,
like
definitely.
Just her being around, anything to help me recenter and parang like refill my energy. And one very helpful question that I ask myself whenever I feel depleted is like when I wake up tapos wala talaga akong energy, I ask myself, what do you need? So from there, like parang I know na parang, oh, I keep repeating it to myself, like, what do you need? Do you need coffee? Do you need... So, daming self-care that goes into, you know, being a life of a creator or a designer. Number one talaga is you take care of yourself.
Totoo.
Kasi vessel ka eh. So like I said, kung hindi ka puno, paano ka mag-overflow? Paano ka mag-give?
Magbibigay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I also want to reiterate your message about resting, about, you know, regrouping. Kasi very important yun eh. In the hustle and bustle of life, na parang, oh my gosh, everything you have to produce it in a snap, na mabilisan, tapos ka na ba sa gagawin mo. But sometimes, resting is also productivity.
Yes.
Sabi nga nila, let's stop glorifying being busy.
Yes.
Kasi, you're a person.
Totoo.
You're human. You just have to rest
Totoo.
as well.
And I'm a firm believer kasi na life is meant to be endured and meant to be enjoyed. So parang you're always oscillating between those two, like parang enduring, enjoying, enduring, enjoying. And in fact, scientifically, there are researchers that say na pag sa downtime talaga, that's when your mind is making connections.
Right.
So dun lumalabas yung idea, and it's the reason why in the shower, di ba, pag most relaxed
I was about to say that.
Diba? Parang pag most relaxed tayo, parang dun lumalabas yung better comebacks,
Yes. That sinabi ko yun.
Oo, exactly. Di ba, parang kunwari earlier, may ka-argue tayo, parang like, in the shower,
Should have said
ito yung magandang dapat sinabi ko eh. So, yun yung importance ng downtime kasi the mind at rest is connecting things, synthesizing what's happened to you previously. That's why I really love downtime. I also like working hard, but those are like two sides of the same coin eh. Hindi mo siya
Proper
pwedeng ihiwalay.
balance talaga
Exactly.
of
It's
everything.
balance. Yes.
Can you give us your thoughts about brands? Na parang, is it just, syempre, I know it's not just fonts and not just,
Yes.
and I want to know the juicy truth